That was Trip to Mambo Land from the 2007 album of the same title, Trip to Mambo Land, the Latin Giants of Jazz, as they were known then, and they're known as the Mambo Legends today. And, of course, Frankie Vasquez on the lead vocals, and John Dandy Rodriguez, who played on both the original record in 1964 and this later one in 2007, 40-year difference. And, of course, Cita Rodriguez on the coro. Very nice.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we have on the line a legend in our industry, and I must say a good friend of ours. He was the original lead singer for the Joe Cuba Sextet, and in his 7-decade career, going back to the 1950s, he recorded with just about everybody in the Latin music world, and he's still performing today, that is, and he has appeared in some 1,500 recordings, many iconic albums. Please welcome back to Caribe Latino in the WKCR studios, none other than Willie Torres. Willie, how are you?
I'm fine. And yourself?
We're doing good here. We're doing very good as we pay tribute to Nick Jiménez.
Yes, I know that. And listen, Nick was, we went to school together and the whole bit, and we used to go to the Union Settlement, and heaven knew that we were going to end up being musical friends.
Yeah, Willie, that's great. That's great. And I wanted to ask you, prior to working with him in the Joe Cuba Sextet, you were the singer for his Nick Jiménez quintet. What was that like?
Oh, that was fun. It was like a dream come true, because before that I was singing with a group called Papi Su Rumbero. And, and it stays with you. I got a taste of, when I was 14 years old, I got a taste of singing with a band. You've seen the pictures of it.
Yeah.
And wearing maracas and wearing sneakers.
Mm-hmm.
And I had hair then.
Well,
it was fun. So, but then I met Nick, and he had that group. And so when I come up, and I went up and I started singing, and that was the whole thing of starting a new career. And heaven knew that I was doing it. I learned the tune Nunca, which ended up being, when I wrote the lyric to Be With You. It was called No Te Engañé Nunca, and it was done in Spanish. But that's another story. We can, as you go, you'll ask me that somewhere down the line.
Well, what I wanted to ask you about right now was you sang his arrangement of I've Got You Under My Skin as early as 1952, before joining the Joe Cuba Sextet. You guys were already working on that, on what would later be called Salsa in English. I've Got You Under My Skin.
Let's put it this way. He played it, I sang it. And it was a question of whatever I did, we did. Whatever he played, I sang it. It was a meeting of the minds. We knew what we wanted to do, and we did it. We were both young and in a field that eventually, became our livelihood. But it was a lot of fun. It was naturally, I felt great, a young kid like myself, and I'm singing in front of people, but his ideas were, playing wise, and in other words, I had carte blanche when it came to singing. Whatever I did, and that was it.
Well, I love that. I've Got You Under My Skin. And so you co-wrote To Be With You with Nick. Did you think it would be so popular and important a song? Did you ever think that?
Would you repeat that?
You co-wrote To Be With You with Nick.
Oh, well, no. Wait a minute. Nick had wrote Nunca. Now, To Be With You, I wrote that. He didn't know anything about it. Mm-hmm. Nobody knew anything about it until I introduced it that time at the Stardust Ballroom for the first time, because they hadn't known about it. And they were so surprised as I was just trying something different, and it worked, and they stayed with it.
Okay, so you wrote the lyric, and he wrote the music.
Yeah, that's right. He wrote the music, I wrote the lyric.
Okay.
And he wrote the Spanish lyric also.
Uh-huh. But did you think that To Be With You would be so popular and an important song as it became? Did you ever think that?
Well, when we introduced it at the Stardust Ballroom, I had it. I think if I remember right, I told Ed 6 times. No, we repeated it 3 times. They kept on applauding, and we repeated it 3 times. And you tell Ed, I lied to him.
Ed, he lied to you.
All right, Willie, I'll forgive you.
Well, I just add that I don't know if you thought it was going to be that popular, but we could safely say that a generation was probably born to that song.
Yeah, I'm just sorry. I put it this way. I'm just sorry I didn't introduce the tune to the public, but we had a standing thing in the band. If you're with the band, you're working with the band, you record with the band. If you're not with the band, you don't record. So it was a thing. I could have sang it anyway, whether I liked it.
Right.
If I wanted, if I would have pushed it, I would have sang it. But hey, I wasn't going to be there, and Jimmy did one hell of a job.
Right.
A lot of people don't know that Nick had given us. There was a whole background. The parts that you hear the band, you hear the voice. We had a whole background thing to it. And Joe Kane, I think he was the A&R man. He said, "Look, Willie, guys, cut it here, cut it there, and the final product. That was it. It was his idea to cut the background singing out that Nick had done, had written to it.
Yeah.
And they came out perfect. Jimmy did one hell of a job.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, Willie, we're not going to keep you too much longer, but I want to ask you one more question.
Sure.
Willie, what do you want the public to know about Nick Jiménez?
Well, number one, they've lost a whole lot of future music that I know he could have written and would have written. And I'm fortunate to have a thing of his that he made that I asked his daughter to make for me, tunes that he sang and that he wrote because I'm one of these people that if you write something, I want to hear your version of it, to hear what your feeling is, so then I know where to take my, to know where to give it out. And I'm just sorry we lost all the years that we did in between. Heaven knows what we could have done musically, but he was one hell of a piano player in a sense. He was no Charlie Palmieri or whatever, but he played, and he played what he played. It was him. It was him, and that's it. I don't know what else to say. He played, and that was it. He was. Let's put it this way: he was a Joe Cuba Sextet, number one, number two, and number three. Jimmy was number one. I was number two, and he was number three. Joe was just a figurehead.
Right. Okay. All right. Well, Willie, I asked you, and you gave it to me. So we love you, Willie, and listen, we'll hope to see you soon back here at the WKCR studios. Soon.
Will do.
We miss you.
I miss you guys too, believe me.
Y te queremos mucho.
Definitely.
Amen. Hey, Ed.
Yes.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Long time no speak.
Hermano, it's always a pleasure talking to you.
Pleasure's always mine. Definitely.
All right, Willie.
Like we say in Spain, it's been a profound gas.
I hear you. Thank you, Willie Torres.
Take care.
Okay, good night.
Take care.
Bye.
Con eso, nos vamos a To Be With You right here on the Nick Jiménez Tribute. You're listening to WKCR 89.9 FM and WKCR HD1.
To be with you, 1 hour of each lonely day would thrill me no end. I need you so, I want you more than you know. When I'm alone, I feel the touch of your lips so softly on mine. Please say you're mine and come back there to me. To feel your arms all closed around me inside. My heart wakens up, I still feel your touch. My whoa, what a thrill. I'll never leave you, I know, for I love you so. To be with you, to be with you, my love. Oh, what a thrill. I'll never leave you, I know, for I love you so. To be with you, to be with you, my love, to be with you, my love, my love, my love.
Si hoy de tu lado se va, tal vez una ilusión, mañana llamará a tu puerta el verdadero amor. Siempre viene un rayito de luz a borrar las tinieblas. Tras de la lluvia verás salir el sol. Si el destino te hizo probar lo malo de la vida, verás que pronto lo bueno probarás. Una lágrima la llena la esperanza que contiene. En la mala o en la buena, bro, nunca olvides quién te quiere. Yo pienso que es importante la emoción que se genere. Él sabe lo que tú vales, lo que vales y quién tú eres. Todo lo que sube baja, su momento todo tiene. Tristeza se va borrando, tiempo cura lo que hoy eres. Sé feliz, vive tu vida. Si es que me estás escuchando, yo te deseo lo mejor. Mi corazón te está hablando. Un nuevo día va llegando. La luna, el sol aclara lo que se estaba nublando. Ya está bueno de sufrir, no siga desesperando. Viene la felicidad, por eso estamos cantando. te sigo queriendo. Son en vano mis penas si sufro yo por ti. Tú bien sabes, es muy claro que cuando tú lo pidas, mi vida entregaré a ti. Pienso y bien sé que es mentira. El día llegará, mis labios probarán tu boca tan sensual. Mientras tanto, y en lo que te decides, yo te sigo queriendo, aunque tú no me quieras. Y bien sé que es mentira. El día llegará, mis labios probarán tu boca tan sensual. Mientras tanto, y en lo que te decides, yo te sigo queriendo, aunque tú no me quieras. No, 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 no me quieras. Amorcito lindo, que tú no me quieras, aunque tú no me quieras.
WKCR 89.9 FM, su show Caribe Latino, rindiéndole homenaje a Nick Jiménez. This is a celebration of his songs. Louis, what did we just listen to?
Well, we started the set right after our conversation with Mr. Willie Torres. We started with To Be With You, very popular song, and that came from the 1962 Steppin' Out, the Joe Cuba Sextet. Jimmy Sabater on lead vocals on the coro, Willie Torres and Santos Colon, co-written by Nicky and Willie Torres. The beginnings of Latin soul. And I'd like to take a special shout out to the Jimmy Sabater family, to Jimmy Jr., my man, Jimmy Jr., love to see you, and to Terry, Jimmy's daughter, Terry. Then we heard Lo Bueno Ya Viene, and that comes from the 2012. Now I'm going to try to say this correctly, Ed. Eva Se Aha.
Excellent, excellent.
That's the name of the album.
What
the
it
name
means,
of the recording.
I have no idea.
Eva
but
Se
you
Aha.
did it correctly.
She sure,
Eva Se Aha.
she sure did.
That was Cheo Feliciano and Ruben Blades, co-written by Nick Jiménez and Mike Amadeo.
Nice.
And then we ended the set with Aunque Tu, 1999, Jazz Moods, Latin Romance, Poncho Sanchez on vocals. And
Nice.
very quickly, I'd like to say a special hello to the lovely Maria Barreto, and who's out there listening. And we want to mention that Noches de Salsa at Club Remix, and that is June 25th. That's going to be Charlie Donato y su Son Ideal, and Mr. Eddie Montalvo y su Orqueta. They were both here with us last week, and that's Club Remix at 27 Park Place, downtown New York. Very easy to get to by train. You can call 917-439-4307, or you can plug into www.musicbarreto.com. Again, 917-439-4307, or you can call 917-567-5545. Okay, and that's Maria Barreto Productions. Noches de Salsa, Charlie Donato and Eddie Montalvo. Ed Garcia.
Yes, I just wanted to interject listening to Lo Bueno Ya Viene with Cheo and Ruben Blades. From what I understand, that when Ruben decided to form his own sextet, Seis de Solar, he actually consulted with Nick Jiménez about how to write and I guess put together the format for that. April, let's have some fun, okay? Come on, it's what, 11:30 at night? Over the years, you and I have spoken, and you've been very generous with a lot of wonderful, wonderful stories. Let's share some with our listeners. Why don't you tell our listeners about the time that your father saved Cheo Feliciano from the bouncer?
This was in California, and there was a bouncer. His name was Mother,
Oh.
and he
Eva
was...
said,
That was the first name.
That was his first and second name, Mother. And I think he weighed like 350 pounds. He was like 6'2", and he was gay. So Cheo got drunk one night, and he told him no more drinks for you. And Cheo got mad, and he wanted to fight this guy. So Dad said, no, you don't want to fight with him. He's gonna hurt you. I can kick his butt and all that. The next night, they were performing in this place, I'm sorry, where the bouncer was. The next night, there was these 3 or 4 guys who got really badly out of hand. And Mother, at the same time, beat the heck out of all 4. And Dad went up to Cheo, because Cheo was looking like, wow, I could have gotten killed yesterday. He said, aren't you glad I saved your life last night? So, yeah, that's the
Cheo
story
era
of
bastante
saving.
guapo, as we say in the
Oh, yeah, oh, no,
Yes.
Cheo era bien guapo. Pues el chiquito, el más chiquito del grupo. What do you call it, the Napoleon?
Napoleon complex?
Yeah, that's what
Right.
Cheo had, yeah.
I know that you were very touched hearing Poncho Sanchez sing Aunque Tu, and from what I understand, it's your favorite tune. In
Yes.
fact, you had a bit of a bonding with a very well-known music historian over that song. Could you share that with us?
Oh, yeah, I can do that real happily. I was at a club, and I was sitting at a table, and somebody asked about boleros. And I said, well, my favorite... No. This gentleman said, my favorite bolero is Aunque Tu. And I said, it can't be your favorite because it's mine. He said, "No, honey, I'm a little older than you." I said, "Yeah, but my father wrote it." And he said, and that was Max Salazar. And after that, he became like an honorary father to me. We used to talk. You think we talk on the phone long? I mean, 4 hours was a minimum. And we would talk like 3 days. Yo le pedí la bendición. It got like that like after 2 weeks. But this man was wonderful. He didn't gossip. He told, he looked into stuff and he said what he found, and he never spoke like, and I won't mention any names, like people nowadays who interview people and they take it for the gospel what the person says instead of, checking it out more.
Mm-hmm.
Max was very, he wasn't evil, he wasn't malicious, he said what he felt, and I was totally in love with him. He was my honorary uncle.
Well, if there was anybody who appreciated what, and I use this word sidemen because, you have the band leader and you have the musical director and you have the rest of the band. So hence sidemen. Or women, and because nowadays side person.
There
But
you
we up to now we would say sidemen. But here's the thing: he appreciated their contributions, how they made up the band, how the arranger put the meat of the music together, and the composer.
He knew the format.
And
he knew the format.
He knew the format, and that it wasn't just about the leader. And certainly, I learned so much from him. And I know he was very good friends with most of the Joe Cuba Sextet, including your father, Tommy Barrios, Jimmy Sabater, and I was very close to those folks, and imparted a lot of that history on me.
That's nice.
So it really, it's just apropos that we mentioned Max tonight.
I'm glad you
Okay,
did.
on that note, let's go to some more music, Edwin.
You're listening to WKCR 89.9 FM and WKCR HD1, our tribute to Nick Jiménez.
When you're in this crazy mood for mambo, that's the time to listen for its beat. Get yourself a partner and dance this Latin step. Come and try this swing. yo a ti te canto esta canción que de mi corazón nació para ti. Yo sé que el día llegará en que podremos ser felices sin igual. Yo quisiera poder olvidarte y librarme de este gran dolor. Por ahora sé que es imposible, porque ya yo no tengo tu amor. Yo sé que el día llegará en que podremos ser felices sin igual. Por eso es que yo canto esta canción a ti, solo por ti, solo por ti. Yo canto esta canción. ¡Hey! Bomboncito, mamá linda, te canto del corazón. Solo por ti, yo canto esta canción. ¡Hey! Si desde el primer momento has sido mi inspiración. Solo por ti, yo canto esta canción. ¡Hey! Con el mirar de tus ojos se rompe mi corazón. Solo por ti, yo canto esta canción. ¡Hey! Al mirar tu caminar pierdo toda la razón. Solo por ti, yo canto esta canción. ¡Hey! No me dejes cosa buena si es tuya mi inspiración. Solo por ti, yo canto esta canción. ¡Hey! No lo pare, caballero, que tú estás sabroso. Echa para adelante, rumbero, caballero, que la oye. Bomboncito, ahí nada más bomboncito. Bomboncito, mamá buena, cosa rica. Bomboncito, si es tuyo mi corazón. Bomboncito, hace rato que te quiero. Bomboncito, es que eres tú mi consuelo. Bomboncito, te miro toda la noche y el día. Si es tuya el alma mía. Bomboncito, rica yo te estoy llamando. Bomboncito, yo sé que me está velando. Bomboncito, hace rato que te quiero. Bomboncito, quieres ver tu cariñito. Bomboncito, si eres tú mi bomboncito. Bomboncito, a comer rico bombón. Bomboncito, a chupar que está sabrosón. Bomboncito, ay mira, mira que nadie se meta. Bomboncito, mira que es mía esa paleta. Bombón, 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 ay mira que está sabrosito.
está sabrosa, esa paleta está deliciosa, rica, rica, rica y baila mi bombocito. Yo me la llevo todita, esa paleta está sabrosita, bombón que Rodo te está llamando, ay mira que la rumba está acabando, bombón, 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 ay mira que está sabrosito, yey, 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 ay mira, mira, mira mamá, no te me vaya a la rumba, si tú no me vas a invitar, si la rumba está buena ya, sea para bailar, bombón, bombón, bombón.
Uh-huh. Great stuff there. We started the set with Swinging Mambo, 1956. I Tried to Dance All Night, the Joe Cuba Sextet, vocals Willie Torres, their first album, the first recording of Joe Cuba Sextet. And we heard some great stuff there. And that was with the trumpets. That was Joe Cuba Sextet with trumpets. Then we went to Solo por ti y sigue. All right, down to
It's
64.
actually one song. They made it into two because it was too long.
Okay, so Solo por ti and Y sigue. Okay, 1964, Alma del Barrio, Joe Cuba Sextet, Cheo Feliciano on the vocals, and that's rare extended piano solo by Nick Jimenez. Edwin.
April, I'd like to share with our listeners an example of how unassuming your father was. There's a story about him being in Puerto Rico, and somebody quite famous came by his path. Tell us about that.
That was with a group called Johnny El Bravo, and they were taking pictures for the cover of the album La Ley del Tránsito. And Cachete Maldonado told Dad, you know, somebody, alguien te está llamando, te está diciendo tu nombre. And all the guys were looking, and when Dad looked, it was Machito. And he crossed the street, and he gave Dad a hug, and he told Dad, we got to get together, we got to get some music done. And they talked for a few minutes and left. And the musicians in the other band, they were all like, you know Machito? So Dad said, apparently they never heard of the Joe Cuba Sextet, because they were doing, you know. But, yeah, that's the story. He was real happy about that.
That's wonderful. Herman, let's go to some music, please.
All right, check it out right here on WKCR 89.9 FM in New York. WKCR 89.9 FM and WKCR HD1. This wonderful tribute to Nick Jiménez. Señor Edwin Garcia, who I have to take the time out to thank for all the hard labor, all the hard work, for scripting this, picking out the music, and just doing a fantastic job of producing this evening's program, the celebration of the songs of Nick Jiménez.
Also, I would like to thank Ed for writing a beautiful article on Nick Jimenez in appreciation of his musical legacy. Very well written, Ed, and I'm enjoying it immensely.
Well, thank you. You know, it's been one of the honors of my life to actually speak with Nick and joke around. He was a very funny man. He's quiet and unassuming, but a very funny man. We just heard Ven Baila Conmigo, which I think is one of his top dance numbers. This version came from the 2006 Paracatun album by Wayne Gorbea's Salsa Picante,
Yeah.
and on lead vocal was Frank Otero. I'd like to give a shout out to a veteran percussionist, Juan Rodriguez, who I believe is listening.
Yes, one.
Juan played bongos on this recording, and he was kind enough to supply me with information on the band personnel. We're kind of in the home stretch of the show. We're not done just yet, but I want to take this time and ask you, April, we've had 2 hours of wonderful music. There's a lot more. Hopefully a lot more people are discovering your dad if they didn't know about his music before. How would you like the public to remember your dad?
I would like for them to remember him not only as a musician. He was had a lot of titles. My favorite was Dad, of course. He was a great grandfather in both ways. He cared about people. He cared about people. His word was his bond. He said, you know, when you sign your name, it's legal, but when you give your word, it's more. You know, he was just an all-around, like you said, he liked to joke around. He made jokes. He had a stroke on a Thursday when his sense of humor was such as about an hour after they got him to the emergency room, he became coherent. His left side was paralyzed. He was paralyzed on his left side. He was slurring. The nurse came in and asked him if he needed anything. Was he in pain? And there was someone on the other side of the curtain moaning and groaning. And he said, "I want whatever you gave her, because that orgasm sounds good." And I was like, that's my dad. That was Dad. That was Dad. One day talking with Eddie,
man.
he was talking about Willie Bobo and Willie Torres. And I don't know, they used to talk and get enredado. And when Ed told him, "Which Willie are you talking about?" He said, "Pick one, I don't care." And they used to crack up. Dad had a really good sense of humor. He really did. We'd bump into people and they'd be like, "Nicky, how you doing?" And he would be like, "Great, how's the family?" And they'd have like this little conversation. "Dad, who was that?" "I have no idea," but they said hi to me. But he liked to play jokes. I also want to mention I have a grandson, JJ, who's autistic, and he became my father's heart. And this man went above and beyond with a grandfather, father, whatever you want to call, for this kid. And he just turned 16 this month, and he misses his best friend. He tells me all the time, "I miss my best friend." And when I talked to my dad that Saturday, he said, "I got to get better for JJ. JJ needs me." He touched a lot of people. There was someone who actually flew in from D.C. to come to the funeral. He was one of his first students.
Wow.
Came in. I had my cousin Miquito, Mike Amadeo's, my uncle's. He flew in. He works at Yankee Stadium. He flew in. Got dressed in Jacksonville. That's where they live. Drove down to Tampa just for the funeral and left. Had to come back to New York. So we had quite a few people, you know, coming. But I want him to be remembered not only as a musician, composer, whatever you want to call him. He was a decent man. He was a wonderful man, humble. You know, he was my dad. So I can say he was my dad.
Well, I want to thank you for sharing your stories and your dad with the world. And I don't think there's a better way to end this program than with something that you've shared with us as well, which is a special track with Nick Jiménez himself singing one of his own songs and playing on the piano. The song Seré Feliz.
Sé que sin ti, mi amor, es imposible vivir sin tu querer, sin tu mirar, no hay realidad. Sé que el dolor en mí lo siento por no tener la dicha de poder besarte a ti, mi amor. Yo sé que tú no sientes lo que siento por ti, pero en fin, yo lucharé por tu querer. Y si algún día tú me adoras como yo a ti, seré feliz. Seré feliz, seré feliz con nuestro amor.